were gathered back in a trailer. I was emceeing this festival. And we all just started to talk about what would it look like to see a massive Jesus gathering. We said, like, not like a normal festival, not like a normal event, but really a gathering that would define a generation. In fact, we gathered and prayed, and we're crying in this trailer, saying, God, would you do this in our day? Could you do this in our day? We didn't know it then, but God was putting in our hearts at that time what we believe is Together 2016.
For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lusts shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears.
The same day we got the permit for the mall, all of these groups started to say they were in. Hillsong United said they're in. Francis Chan said he's in. Michael W. Smith said he's in. These things don't happen. I mean, just imagine a true movement of unity. Not just uniting people like you, but the whole church rallying together on one day. And then imagine what that united church can do going from this place. And I really don't even believe that July 16th is about starting a wave. I think God is already doing the wave. I just think it's happening in different corners, and we've been divided. We got this movement here, and this denomination here, and that group here, and they're all great things, but we don't even know about each other because we don't have the same name on our sign. And so on July 16th, we're going to see all of these waves collide. Catholics and Lutherans and evangelicals and charismatics literally rallying across the nation saying, you know what? We may not say the same things, but we're on the same team. We're lifting up Jesus, and we're going to saturate this nation. Man, that could change the world.
And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel. The divine sentence pronounced against Satan after the fall of man was also a prophecy, embracing all the ages to the close of time, and foreshadowing the great conflict to engage all the races of men who should live upon the earth. God declares, I will put enmity. This enmity is not naturally entertained. When men transgressed the divine law, his nature became evil, and he was in harmony, and not at variance with Satan. There exists naturally no enmity between sinful man and the originator of sin. Both became evil through apostasy. The apostate is never at rest except as he obtains sympathy and support by inducing others to follow his example. For this reason, fallen angels and wicked men unite in desperate companionship. Had not God specially interposed, Satan and man would have entered into an alliance against heaven, and instead of cherishing enmity against Satan, the whole human family would have been united in opposition to God.
Chicos y chicas, yo sé que ustedes en el corazón tienen algo que los mueve, que están inquietos, porque un joven que no está inquieto es un viejo. Y ustedes tienen juventud, y la juventud crea inquietud. Te pregunto, ¿cuál es tu inquietud? ¿Sabés bien cuál es tu inquietud o no sabés? ¿Querés saber cuál es tu inquietud? Yo te invito al gran encuentro de todos los jóvenes en Washington para encontrar a quien puede darte una respuesta a esta inquietud. Yo te invito a que te pongas esta malla para que te revistas un día con esto y puedas responder a esa gran inquietud. Y estás seguro, te lo aseguro, no vas a estar frustrado. No vas a estar frustrada. Él no desilusiona a nadie. Jesús te espera. Él es quien sembró en tu corazón la semilla de la inquietud. Anímate, no tenés nada que perder. Probá, después me contás. Gracias.
Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power, and signs, and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they received not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie.
To some we seem slanderous and petulant when we call the Roman pontiff Antichrist. But those who think so perceive not that they are bringing a charge of intemperance against Paul, after whom we speak, nay, in those very words we speak. But lest any one object that Paul's words have a different meaning, and are wrested by us against the Roman pontiff, I will briefly show that they can only be understood of the papacy. Paul says that the Antichrist would sit in the temple of God, 2 Thessalonians 2:4. In another passage, the Spirit, portraying him in the person of Antiochus, says that his reign would be with great swelling of words of vanity, Daniel 7:25. Hence we infer that his tyranny is more over souls than bodies, a tyranny set up in opposition to the spiritual kingdom of Christ. Then his nature is such that he abolishes not the name either of Christ or of the church, but rather uses the name of Christ as a pretext, and lurks under the name of church as under a mask. But through all the heresies and schisms which have existed from the beginning, belong to the kingdom of Antichrist. Yet when Paul foretells that defection will come, he by the description intimates that that seat of abomination will be erected when a kind of universal defection comes upon the church, though many members of the church scattered up and down should continue in the true unity of the faith. But when he adds that in his own time the mystery of iniquity, which was afterwards to be openly manifested, had begun to work in secret, we thereby understand that this calamity was neither to be introduced by one man, nor to terminate in one man. Moreover, when the mark by which he distinguishes Antichrist is that he would rob God of his honor and take it to himself, he gives the leading feature which we ought to follow in searching out Antichrist, especially when pride of this description proceeds to the open devastation of the church. Seeing then it is certain that the Roman pontiff has impudently transferred to himself the most peculiar properties of God and Christ, there cannot be a doubt that he is the leader of and standard-bearer of an impious and abominable kingdom. Calvin's Institutes.
The Protestants of the United States will be foremost in stretching their hands across the gulf to grasp the hand of spiritualism. They will reach over the abyss to clasp hands with the Roman power, and under the influence of this threefold union, this country will follow in the steps of Rome in trampling on the rights of conscience.